My most common construction on DraftKings, like most people, I think, is a 3-6-8-3. That is probably the construction that I do the most. I don't believe I had ever done a 2-5-11-2 build before this one. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit unique. I think it works ultimately. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that this is viable? Could it possibly advance from the pod? Could it do any damage in the playoffs? Let me know what you think. But before you do that, please do like the video, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you are not already subscribed. I'll be putting out a lot of content, not just best ball, but once the season starts, DFS content regularly. Of course, if you want to get notifications when I go live, hit that little notification bell. At the end of this video, I am going to tell you about the DraftKings Draft One, Get One promo. If you want to read about it before we get there, there's a link in the description of this video. You can draft a $20 best ball entry on DraftKings. You'll get a second one for free if you haven't already taken advantage of that. Let's get into the draft though first. So from the 102, which is, I think, my least favorite draft spot, but you can make it work with any draft spot. I go with Bijan Robinson here. I think I'm a little bit underweight to Bijan. Happy to get a share here. AJ Brown falls to the pick 23, which I've been seeing more and more people a little bit concerned about his hamstring injury. Happy to get him here at pick 23. At 26, I went with Trey McBride. Again, I'm just a Trey McBride bull. I like the elite tight ends, in particular Bowers, McBride, and Kittle to a slightly lesser extent. On a full PPR side, I think Bowers and McBride really have the advantage because they're just projected to have a lot more receptions than George Kittle is. So happy to get McBride here at 26, especially with that juicy Week 17 matchup with a really bad Cincinnati defense. Happy to get McBride here. Next turn, I have AJ Brown. I go with Jalen Hurts. So we've already got our stack in the 4th round, but only one wide receiver so far through 4th rounds. At this point, I'm starting to think, who do I want to fall to me? Do I want to do the double stack with Devontae Smith? Or do I want Breece Hall in the 5th round? The turn made it easy for me. Took Devontae Smith at pick 49. Took away my double stack. But Breece Hall there in the 5th round. Not mad at that one bit. In the 6th round, Tony Pollard, a running back that I'm just pretty high on. I think he's going to be the bell cow there in Tennessee, notwithstanding what the coaches have said. Tyjae Spears also dealing with an injury. Tony Pollard is a talented running back on an offense that I think could be ascending. Just went over this in my last video, so not going to belabor the point. In the 7th round, Stephon Diggs. Wide range of outcomes, I think, for Stephon Diggs. I don't think he's guaranteed to be great this year, but I think he might be. I think that offense might take a step forward this year, and Diggs has the opportunity to be the alpha there. He's the only really established wide receiver in New England. If he can just keep his head on straight, I think he's in for a big year. So happy to get him at pick 74. We go back around the turn. Bill, by the way, goes at 75 in this one, going earlier and earlier. Pick 95, I get Jaden Reed. He's a little bit hurt. I think he's going to be ready early in the season, maybe even week 1. Pick 95, I'll buy that discount on Jaden Reed. My guy Jordan Mason at pick 98. Again, another one that I just talked about in my last video, as is Christian Kirk. I've got all these guys in my last draft. I think they're all phenomenal picks where they're going. Jordan Mason, I think, is in for a breakout as long as he can stay healthy. Christian Kirk, been dealing with some weird injuries last year in particular. Just a really strange injury stopped him. Maybe that's 2 years ago. Either way, he's had a little bit of injury history, but I think he's a really talented receiver. If he can just stay healthy, the slot demon could have a big year. I decided in the 11th, I reach a little bit for Dallas Goedert. I don't think he was going to come back to me. Sometimes you'll see him at the back end of the 12th round, but usually he doesn't fall back quite that far. So I decided to double up Jalen Hurts with Dallas Goedert. Now, notice I still only have one quarterback. I'm still a little bit behind at wide receiver here. So I got to figure out what I want to do. I go in the next turn. I do at the end of the 12th round, Josh Palmer. He is the bring back on my Philadelphia stack. That's a week 17 matchup, Buffalo versus Philadelphia. So I go with Josh Palmer. The decision here for me was between Josh Palmer and Cameron Ward. And then Cameron Ward goes at pick 144. Maybe I should have anticipated that. I thought I had a bigger need for Josh Palmer than Cameron Ward, but was pretty bummed to see Ward go at the turn. Bashal Tutin, though, available for me. I'm a big Bashal Tutin is my highest exposed player. Happy to get another share on the team. Finally, in the 14th round, I thought I'm pretty desperate for a second quarterback. Sam Darnold, maybe I can stack him up with Torrey Horton. That was the idea. I wanted to stack up Sam Darnold with Torrey Horton. I should have just taken him at 170. I decided to push it because Hollywood Brown was falling and Torrey Horton's ADP at least is after my next pick, and he has a Q tag. So I thought, maybe the buzz has died down a little bit and I'll be able to get him at or after ADP. That did not happen. He went here in the 15th round. So I did not have that back stack working for Sam Darnold. I could have done something with like Elijah Arroyo potentially. I did not end up doing it. I just ended up going with a naked Sam Darnold. Probably not ideal. Not exactly what I wanted, but I have, stacked up Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is the quarterback I'm really relying to carry me anyway. Would have preferred to get a second stacked up quarterback. So don't love the way this all went down, but who knows? It could work out. I did get Jalen Coker, another Jalen Coker share in the 16th round. Yes, I have heard that as of right now, there's no deal in place for Adam Thielen to return to Minnesota. A little bit sad about that because I've been drafting Jalen Coker as though Adam Thielen is getting traded to Minnesota. But I think he can just win out that wide receiver 2 role in Carolina regardless. I think he's better than Xavier Leggett. I think Thielen is getting old. I think there's just paths to Jalen Coker being the wide receiver 2 and being a really good wide receiver 2 on Carolina. So happy to reach a little bit for him in the 16th round. Similarly, now Elic Imanor. Now I don't have Cameron Ward, but I am a fan of Elic Imanor. Pretty surprised to see that the Cameron Ward drafter did not go after him. I guess maybe thinking he would come back around. But a lot of buzz there on Imanor. So happy to get him in the 17th round. In the 18th round, Jalen Knoll. Now I have another draft with 2 Houston receivers. I think Jalen Knoll could have a role, probably not early in the season, but later in the season can earn himself a role there on Houston. De'Ami Brown, just adding a little bit of veteran leadership to the wide receiver room, my 10th receiver. And then finally, Malik Washington in the 20th round as my 11th receiver. So a lot of receivers on this team. Maybe I didn't need all of them, but with the way I started, again, only 1 receiver through 6 rounds. Felt I needed to load up on receivers to make up for it. Did not have a ton of talent there, so I have to get there with volume after A.J. Brown. The team in the end is Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold at quarterback. At running back, we have Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, Bashal Tutin. I think that's it. I think that was 5. At wide receiver, we have A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, Jaden Reed, Christian Kirk, Josh Palmer, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Coker, Elic Imanor, Jalen Knoll, De'Ami Brown, and Malik Washington, hoping for a Tyreek Hill trade for Malik Washington. He looked good today. He made some moves in the preseason today, so love to see that. And then finally at tight end, we have Trey McBride and Dallas Goedert. So even though, at the non-wide receiver positions, we're a little bit thin in terms of numbers, just 2, 5, and 2, but I think we get there with enough talent with enough draft capital spent at those positions. With Jalen Hurts, obviously an elite quarterback. Maybe you want a little bit more than Sam Darnold as your quarterback too, but I think it could work at least. Running backs, we go Bijan Robinson in the first round. Breece Hall, we get a little bit of a fall. Tony Pollard, Bashal Tutin. I think we're in an okay spot. We have one more. I missed one there. Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, Bashal. Yeah, I think that's strong enough 5 wide receivers. And then tight end, obviously you have the elite Trey McBride with Dallas Goedert. I think that's plenty at tight end. So it's a little bit of a unique build, but I think it's one that could work anyway. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Is that just too much? Too many wide receivers? It might be. I'm not sure. Trying things out. We'll see. We'll see what sticks here. I usually like just going with the most common construction, but this is just what fell to me in this draft. I like to adjust to what the draft room is giving me. Anyway, I am going to tell you about the DraftKings Draft One Get One promo. If you haven't already checked it out, you should do so. There is a link in the description of this video. By the way, if you haven't done so, please do like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the little notification bell if you want to get alerts when I go live. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's 2 chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is